Alliance for the Brave, a program that advocates for our active military, veterans, and first responders. Presented by Gear Services Web Design. Alliance for the Brave, serving and empowering those who serve our great country in the line of duty. Tune in, join in, and plug in with us around the globe. Welcome to Alliance for the Brave. Welcome to another edition of Alliance for the Brave. I'm Robin Valitudo, your executive director and co-founder of this project. We are in our 7th year. We originally started out of Dallas, Texas, and now we are launching our 2nd flagship market broadcast out of Virginia right here. Please welcome my co-host, national comedian, also a veteran, Fred McKinnon is in the house with Team Fred.
In the building. I'm glad to be here another week, another episode for Alliance for the Brave. Team Fred is in the building. I am teamfred.com. Hit me up for your clean comedy for your next event, and I'll be sure to bring some laughter, which is food for the soul. So I'm glad to be with my co-host Robin, and looking forward to the discussion today. Also, we have with us Mr. Jude Joyner in the building. He's
Chaplain.
Chaplain. Yeah, we done
Chaplain in the house.
Get my credentials.
We done upgraded him. We done upgraded him. Yeah. He was a pastor, now he's a chaplain. Huh? You military now. You military.
Well, thank you so much. Glad to be here today. Let's make this a wonderful moment.
We are just days away from a very important day here in the state of Virginia. You might be tuning in nationally, but as we are broadcasting from Virginia, we are in the height of election time for governor, lieutenant governor, delegates, all of the leaders that are going to take our state forward or backward. Which direction will it go? So today, our focus is not necessarily on the politics of it, but on using our American right to vote, to have a voice. So with that, Fred and Julian, we welcome a gentleman, a community leader, a prominent pastor in our community as well, who really is in the know when it comes to getting the folks out to vote and ensuring that everyone has a way to get to the polls. So without further ado, please welcome one of our favorite pastors here in the Commonwealth, Dr. Willard Maxwell of New Beach Grove Baptist Church in Newport News.
Hey, how you doing? I'm glad to be here. It's such an honor to be here. And really, I'm here to collect my finder's fee for bringing Team Fred on board. I'm here to get my commission for that. So I'm sure he's doing a great job. So pay me.
Let him use you.
That's a good idea. You was going to come back with that. I don't want to use me. I want to get paid.
It's all about the Benjamins. Oh my goodness. Although when I say that, it's not quite funny as when these guys say it.
Because we just laugh ourselves. We don't care if you laugh or not.
Laughter is good for the soul. But we're definitely glad to have Dr. Maxwell here. And like he said, we've done a lot of things together and to kind of bring information to the community in the form of humor. But today, like Robin said, we're here to talk about how Dr. Maxwell is one of the leaders in getting people out to vote.
Alliance for the Brave, we are an outreach mission and syndicated radio show. We are the communication bridge to veteran service organizations, businesses that all serve the service member community. And so we will focus on the importance of voting to our veteran and military and first responder community today as well with Dr. Maxwell. Dr. Maxwell is not only a prominent pastor in our community, but he is also the president of the NAACP Newport News chapter. So Dr. Maxwell, share with us what your duties are in that role and how you came to work so closely with the NAACP and building a stronger community.
Well, yes, my role in the NAACP is always to help advance the rights of those of color and pretty much anyone, because so many people's rights are being infringed upon. So I got involved in that because of community leaders like Congressman Bobby Scott and other individuals came to me and asked me to do this. Actually, were asking me for like years to do it, but I didn't feel like when I first started pastoring, I really had the time or even the capacity or know-it-all to do it, because I felt like I can't do pastoring well, and I just got here and lead this organization. So now I feel like I've grown in leadership, and I became the president about 3 years ago. for the NAACP, and I love working it because I get to work close in hand with Chief Drew. He's great. And a lot of times I think people think the NAACP is supposed to fuss about everything that goes on, but a lot of times we just flesh out stuff behind the scenes. And then when we come into the public, we already have resolved our differences, and then it looks like a united front. Some people may not agree with that leadership style, but my thing is you get things done more so with relationships. So that's how I go about working with
Well, they say sometimes being a leader, being at the top is a very lonely place to be.
Yes.
But thankfully, we have great leaders like you and so many others in the 757 that don't mind being alone at the top when it's needed. And today we're talking about a part of what the NAACP does that is exciting, it's worth celebrating, and that is helping all of our citizens here in the Commonwealth use our right to vote. And a lot of people may not have ways to get to the polls. So we are so proud to be a partner with our ministries, with the NAACP, so many other businesses in the Commonwealth that want to be a portal to help those that cannot get to the polls ensure that their vote counts and that their vote is processed. So tell us about what's happening this Sunday.
Wow, this Sunday is going to be very hype on October the 24th in Hampton, Suffolk, Norfolk, and Newport News. Different churches will come together, have block parties and to vote, to get out and vote. Whether you're Republican, Democrat, Independent, we just want you to vote. So some places will have food. I know we'll have food there. We have a food truck. We'll have music. You guys going to be there. Oh, no,
We
not
are.
you guys. Is this guys? I'm on the right station right there. Anyway, you will be there. Miss Robin will be there. I don't know what station's coming. You know, she got about 50 jobs with the radio. I don't know what channel is coming, but she bringing some of the channels with her.
All right, get back to the food. What you say, food, right?
Yeah, food.
All right.
Yes. The food gonna be
Get back
there.
to the talent.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna have a good time. So I know Parade 757 is gonna be out there at our church at New Beach Grove. It's gonna start at 12:30. By 1 o'clock, we'll start having people come speak and get us routed to vote. And then at 2 o'clock, what we'll do is caravan. We're a caravan. Now, other churches are marching. We're gonna caravan. If you don't have a ride, you'll get in one of the cars or one of the buses, and we'll make sure we get you to the polls to vote on October the 24th.
All right, and all of this is going down in multiple cities throughout the 757, including Hampton, Suffolk, Norfolk, and of course, Alliance for the Brave, Team Praise. We are going to be at New Beach Grove in Newport News. Dr. Maxwell, put the address out there.
Yes, it's 361 Beachmont Drive, Newport News, Virginia, 23608.
You are listening to Alliance for the Brave, presented by Fairway Independent Mortgage Company and Gear Services Web Design. So excited to be here right now with Team Fred McKinnon, Robin Valatudo, and Pastor Dr. Willard Maxwell.
Comedian, president of the NAACP chapters, Newport News. What else? You have this. I couldn't even print out the bio.
I got too many hats. Yeah, that's enough of them. We good.
In bringing
all that.
And bringing all that up is he's just, for such a young man, he is a very
like that.
strong influencer on our community and bringing unity to the community here in the 757 and working in such tandem with so many other pastors within our community as well. So Dr. Maxwell, let's talk about that too, that how the ministry community has really stepped up to rally around when there's a need. And right now, the need is we need as many people in the 757 to get out and vote. Whether you're conservative, you're more on the liberal side, you're just a complete independent, that choice is yours. We just want you to get out and make your choice.
That's such a great point. It doesn't matter who you're voting for. I really don't care. We'll still get you to the polls. Why? Because we're not here to say vote Democrat, vote Republican, vote Independent, vote for this person, that person. We just want you to vote because too many people have died to make sure some of us have the right to vote. If white people, black people, and everyone in between didn't march, didn't go out and risk their lives, didn't go sit in at lunch counters when they weren't wanted there, there's no way that we would be able to exercise this right. And because we didn't have to do it, we still need to make sure that we appreciate those before us who paved the way so that people of color could vote, so that women could vote, so that minorities could vote. So this is such a great opportunity to make sure that you honor your ancestors, honor those who came before you that paved the way so you could be able to vote. So please, please, please exercise this right. There's no right or wrong way to vote. Unless I'm running for something. I was just playing. There's no right or wrong way to vote. We just want you to make sure you exercise that right.
And Fred, you can speak to also the importance of voting to honor all of our service member families and the sacrifices that those generations of service families have made along the way so that we as Americans have the choice to vote.
Yeah, like Dr. Maxwell said, it's a privilege and an honor to have the right to vote, and a lot of people have sacrificed many tears, sweat, and lives to give us the opportunity to vote. So again, I like the fact that what they're doing this Sunday, October 24th, to get people out. And I like the fact they're saying they don't care who you vote for. Just get out and exercise that right, because a lot of times people won't vote and then complain about who won. And the thing is, if you don't vote, then your voice won't be heard. And it's not just always voting for president. See, this weekend is not about the president, it's about the local officials in your state that really can make the difference in your communities. So again, I'm very excited about what they're doing. I'm gonna swing by this Sunday and show my face and teach Maxwell how to say a couple of jokes. But anyway, like I was saying, we got to get out the right department. I'm gonna let him use me.
The challenge has been made.
It's all good. It's all good. Just remember who opened this door for you.
Shut it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm so far through the door, I can't look back and see who it was.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And you realize that the title of this show is Alliance. We are an alliance.
Yeah. But anyway, no, I love it. I love it, man, because I love it when you got somebody on stage who's not sensitive, because, somebody be getting all mad when you say that on the board. But anyway, that's what I was going to say, man, mess around with you, man.
But we do, right, Chaplain Joyner, we do give praise to Dr. Maxwell all the time for opening the door of introducing us to Fred McKinnon, national professional comedian. Is that the right way to say it? Team Fred?
I don't care what you call me, just call me.
Global comedian. He's just upgraded.
It's Alliance for the Brave right here on WTJZ Praise, presented by Fairway Independent Mortgage Company and Gear Web Design. I am so excited that all three of you are here today. I mean, we're having a wonderful time, and we're being informed, and we're letting everyone know about this vital and important topic in voting. Robin?
Absolutely. And we want to thank the NAACP Virginia for their influence in all of our different cities throughout the 757 and really being instrumental in this Sunday, October 24th, Souls to the Polls event for Super Sunday. So many of our ministry leaders, business partners are all teaming up with the NAACP to help get those to the polls that do not have transportation or ways to do it.
And one thing I want to ask Dr. Maxwell is, like, in your role in the NAACP, what are some of the challenges you see as to why people don't vote? Is it transportation? Is it lack of enthusiasm?
Man, that's a great question.
Yeah.
I see some people here, I don't really see why it's an excuse, because the polls that I see here in Newport News and Hampton Roads, the lines aren't as long as when I was in Atlanta. When I was in Atlanta, I would literally be in line and they would say, so-and-so won Georgia. I ain't win Georgia already, and I haven't even voted. I'm in line. And then they say, oh, just stay here and vote anyway because it could change. Well, it ain't changed not one time I was in line. So this is why I push the early voting. I never want anything to compete with church on Sundays, even football. I never want anything to compete with church. But my thing is, after church, we're going to definitely make sure we get people to the polls. Even if they want to vote before the 24th, we make sure that they're able. We put out a post. We put our church number out there, 757-877-4114, and you can schedule a ride to get to the polls, because since you can vote early, there's no excuse. We will make sure we get you there to any of the spots that you are near to make sure that you're able to vote. So some of the challenges is in other places, I would say especially in Atlanta, because you even saw the law that they passed saying that you can't bring anybody any water or it's a felony. That is straight voter suppression. So you can't bring anybody any water, you can't bring them any cookies or whatever it is to make sure that they're okay. I mean, we would literally be in line for 3-4 hours. People would get there at 7 in the morning and still be there an hour to vote because they would have everybody there. That's straight voter suppression. You understand? When I came here, I think I forgot about it, but when you asked that question, Brother Fred, it just sparked my memory. Voter suppression goes on. It may not go on here as much. That's why you need to exercise your right to vote. A lot of people say, well, my vote doesn't matter. Well, remember Shelley Simon, not saying I'm Democrat, not saying I'm Republican, but she lost by 1 vote. So that person that said that they wanted her to be in office, if they would have woke up and voted, it would have been a tie. Or maybe she would have won. Who knows? 1 vote she lost by. So it is important to get out and vote and exercise your right. Just like Team Fred said, just like Ms. Robin said, you can't fuss about the outcome if you didn't participate in what was going on.
So today, our goal is to help change your mindset to honor those before you who have sacrificed their lives, who have stood up so that we have the right to vote and to actually use that American right that you have as a citizen. And if you can't get to the polls, guess what? There is still time for you to apply for absentee ballot voting. So they make it even easier nowadays. Just apply online for absentee balloting. Dr. Maxwell, do you know much about that?
Well, the main thing with the absentee ballot, you got to make sure that you have a witness to sign for you. Now, because it was emergency last year because of COVID, even though we still kind of in a pandemic, last year, some of those people who may have voted absentee ballot for the first time, you didn't have to have a witness because they knew you should have been in the house by yourself if you weren't married. What you have to do now is when you fill out that form, you need someone to sign it for you as a witness and then send it in because that's verifying that you are who you say you are.
Great information. And I believe the deadline for requesting an absentee ballot is Tuesday, October 26th. So remember that date, Tuesday, October 26th.
I do have a question, Dr. Maxwell, because there's someone driving in that car right now. There's someone at their house right now that is just saying to themselves, I'm hearing what they're saying, but I'm still on the brink of not voting based on what the candidates are saying and what their beliefs are. Is there a convincing word to push them to go out to go and exercise their right to vote?
My thing is this. I don't totally agree with the Democrats. I don't totally agree with the Republicans. Some things that the Democrats pass, I don't like. Some things the Republicans pass, I don't like. In fact, I don't even understand why we got Democrats and Republicans if we are one country. How can the House divided amongst itself stand?
Right.
Wow.
And a lot of times when we voting, a lot of times they vote on things just because they feel like this is what their party wants and not what the world wants.
Exactly.
Like when they got upset at the heavyset governor, I can't think, Christie. When his state had a disaster, they was mad because he called on Obama for help. That makes no sense. And his party stepped away from him.
Yeah.
So what you need to do is begin to study and try to figure out these people's character and vote for people who you know that's going to stand up and vote for things that's going to help you. You understand? That's going to help the country. That's going to help the nation. And sometimes people may vote on a certain thing. They know they may not even make it the second term, but they know that was best for the people.
Right.
And that's what you have to look at. And so my thing is this. If you don't like either one of them, like that's how I am a lot of times, just to keep it 100. I don't like either party, to be honest. But at the end of the day, what happens is you need to vote. If you feel like they both evil, vote for the lesser of the evil.
Good advice.
Do something. Vote for the lesser of the evil. You understand?
Yeah.
You know how they tell you, what they tell you, they say, hey man, at least I stay with the devil I'm with. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go get to know a new devil in a relationship that might be toxic. But my thing is, vote, exercise your right to vote because you can change it. And when they begin to see that you're voting, you begin to take on that power. You are playing an active part in making your country, making your nation, making your city and your state better. Please get out and vote and just study and find out something about the candidate. And if you like it, vote. If you don't, vote for the other person.
That's the secret to it right there, is just do your own due diligence.
Right.
Don't necessarily buy in just because your family tells you what they like, or your best friends, or even your spouse or significant other. Make the best decision for you and what you feel is best for your state, for your community. For this election, at least for Virginia, we're voting on governor, lieutenant governor, and delegates. So all of the positions, like Fred was saying, that impact our state. So if you don't exercise your vote, then you're saying, I don't want to have a voice. Of course we want to have a voice. Exercise your voice.
Absolutely. You are listening to Alliance for the Brave, presented by Fairway Independent Mortgage Company, Gear Services, Web Design. Team Fred is here. Reverend Dr. Willard Maxwell, and of course, Robin Valatudo. I am the chaplain.
I like that. The
Junior Jew
You
Joiner.
say that with such conviction.
Go ahead, Robin.
All right. Well, we hope everyone has really enjoyed this first segment of Alliance for the Brave today. Please come out, meet us. If you're in the Hampton Roads area tomorrow, make your way to Newport News for Super Sunday Souls to the Polls. It's happening October 24th. Our praise team is in Alliance for the Brave. We will be on location from 12 to 2, broadcasting live. Dr. Maxwell and his team at New Beach Grove Baptist Church, they're going to have a block party, free cookout, all kinds of excitement, celebrating the right to vote. And then at 2 o'clock, they'll help you make your way to the polls if you have not casted your vote already. And that's going to be happening at the city center, correct?
I like that. Celebrate your right to vote. That's how we doing that party. I like that. I like that. That's a good one. We celebrating the right to vote. I like that. But yes, we're going to drive to City Center. It's also, you can vote downtown as well if you're closer to that precinct. But what we're going to do after you all jam it up, you all come, because I love Parade 757. Y'all be rocking it, boy. Y'all be rocking it. So I appreciate you all so much. So after we have our block party with you all, DJing, live radio, food and fun, people say what they feel like they need to say to motivate people to vote. And then we're going to get in our cars, get in the buses. If you don't have a car, you're going to jump in somebody's car that allows you. And then we're going to drive to the polls, to the City Center polling center.
Okay, and I'm going to encourage parents, bring your kids out, even if they're not of age yet to vote. Let them see the celebration of our American right to vote and make it something that they look forward to when the time comes that they are of the age of 18 and they can cast their first vote.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right, guys. Well, as we close out with Alliance for the Brave today, Dr. Maxwell, any final remarks or reminders?
Final remarks. Remember, October the 24th, we want to get as many people at these churches. If you go to church or not, just look on the websites and just go to those particular churches. And at the end of it, you don't have to go to church. Go to the block parties and ride out with them and go vote early to make sure you exercise your right to vote. And again, we thank Ms. Robin, we thank Team Fred, we thank the chaplain for using this medium in order to get the word out, to make sure that we encourage you to vote. It's really sad that we have to encourage you to vote, because you should just automatically be able to understand you should exercise that right. But just in case you're not ready, we just want to push you over the edge to make sure that you exercise this right that so many people have bled and died for you to be able to exercise this right.
And for those service member families tuning in that come from generations of service, we are so grateful to you. And so those of us here in the studio, we certainly will be exercising our right to vote in honor of all those who have sacrificed for us to have this freedom. And again, we'll be out at Newport News, New Beach Grove Baptist Church in Newport News Sunday. That's tomorrow. We'll be broadcasting live from 12 to 2. The address is 361 Beachmont Drive, Newport News. Please come on out, visit with us. Our very own veteran Willie Brown, downtown Willie Brown, will be out there. Cocoa Butter, a community favorite, on the air with us. She will also be out there. Team Fred says he's going to make an appearance. So
yeah, I'll be out there. And if you don't know where New Beach Grove is in Newport News, it's behind the mall called Wawa. Hey, just come on out to New Beach Grove. Everybody know where Wawa is on Ward Boulevard. Come on out to the mall, aka Wawa, behind Wawa. Now everybody knows where it is, and come on out and have a good time. And again, exercise your right to vote. We'll be out there celebrating this great occasion with the great team, and we look forward to seeing you guys out there.
All right, and if you're not in the Newport News area, don't forget, there are Souls to the Polls events for Super Sunday going on in Hampton, Suffolk, and Norfolk. To find the location near you to participate in, please call Galen at 757-287-0277. That's 757-287-0277. We do know that the one in Hampton will be going on from 12:30 to 5 at First Baptist Church Hampton at 229 North King Street. All right, Team Fred, thank you so much. What an amazing first half of Alliance for the Brave today. We hope that we have inspired you to put some hard thought into exercising your right to vote, as well as getting you more acclimated and acquainted with Dr. Maxwell. If you do not have a ministry home, please consider visiting his church in Newport News, New Beach Grove.
Behind Wawa.
All right, Chaplain Joyner, with that, we're going to take a short break, but we do thank our sponsors of Alliance for the Brave, Fairway Independent Mortgage, and Gear Services. We'll be right back. Don't go away.